Yo, Icon Nation, what it is, man? It's your boy Yerdy G.
Hope you're ready for some good HHN speculation. It's your boy Nick White.
What's up, Icon Nation? It's your boy Jalen Talley.
And this is another episode of the Toxic Icon Podcast. But tonight,
who do we have in the house tonight?
We have a very, very special guest. She's a philanthropist, a world-renowned traveler, and she loves Halloween. Give it up for Jamie Does Halloween.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thank you for being here with us. Just so y'all know, Jamie specializes in bringing everything to you, horror, haunted house related, all of it on the East Coast. She covers it. Make sure you go follow Jamie Does Halloween. It's a cool page. It's got some really cool stuff going on over there. So, the permits are in. The rumors are circulating. We've been talking about it. Everybody else is talking about it. And now that we've gotten through Christmas, I think it's time to, really hop into this thing, man. It is officially SPEC season for HHN 33. Or for the people who know it a little bit easier this way, HHN 2024. The conversation starts now. Let's get into it. What we thinking? How's everybody feeling? Jamie, you go first. How you feeling? What you thinking about this year? What you think's coming up?
I feel like it's going to be another big year. Like, I know we already discussed, and you guys discussed, that last year was a big year. They had a lot of big IPs, but I think this year's going to be just as big with already the huge movies we've had 2023 into 2024 and all of the movies that are going to be in theaters like early 2024 into summer 2024. Especially for Blumhouse, definitely a big one. But I just think in general, the originals are going to be big. They're getting bigger every year. So I'm definitely thinking it's going to be another big year.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I mean, I feel like really post-pandemic, every year has been big. 2021 was still, sort of a kind of a return to HHN. But I think HHN 31 and on, and of course, last year, the year that just concluded, it was big, man. So, I think we should get the Blumhouse out the way. We know we got FNAF. I mean, it's not completely confirmed, but Blumhouse dropped a confirmation without giving us an official confirmation the other night. So,
I believe another double feature or possibly a triple feature.
Yeah,
triple.
It's a possibility. So I'm thinking FNAF, of course, Megan, and possibly Insidious, all in one.
That'd be dope.
That would be dope.
Because think about it, they can transition from Insidious to FNAF on the supernatural tip, and then they could end it off with Megan.
I'm glad you brought that up because one thing that I've always wondered in this early portion of SPEC season is just what exactly is going to happen if they do a feature, and how can you tie together three stories that are so significantly different? So I like the way that you feel about that because I was wondering. I feel like those three properties almost need to be their own house in order to carry it over a little more well.
I just think, or they just have to, each room have a different scene from, the movie for, each movie. That way they could fit it all in. So, one from Five Nights at Freddy's, another from Megan, another from Insidious.
True.
So I believe that as far as tying it in, it could be, okay, let's go back to Chucky's Ultimate Kill Count, right?
Okay.
They can fixate it upon being supernatural. You're going to Blumhouse Studios to, to preview Megan 2.0 and then also FNAF Part 2, but then something happens that sucks you into this Blumhouse world, so to speak.
I think that would be the way to pull it off. I think that'd be perfect if they did it that way because, like I said, with those stories being so insanely different, you have to find some sort of similarity, some sort of way to pull that in.
Exactly.
So I think that might be the way that they can get it done. Either way, we know Blumhouse has the partnership with Universal. Blumhouse is going to be at Halloween Horror Nights every year for a long time. We just don't know the property.
Right, especially since Blumhouse and Atomic Monster just merged.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, exactly. So I think that's big. We know there's going to be some sort of Blumhouse. Another one that I want to talk about, and I don't know how you guys will feel about this, but I think this is the return of Freddy Krueger this year. And I don't think this has been talked about enough yet, but I do think this is the return. I think Nightmare on Elm Street will be at Halloween Horror Nights this year. Yeah. Hands down.
Jamie, what's your take on that one?
I think that would be pretty good because we've had like the Universal icons, but we haven't had a lot of like slasher icons in recent years. So I definitely think like a true horror slasher icon needs to return. Not that we didn't love Oddfellow, not that we don't love Jack, but like let's get slashers back. Like let's do Freddy Krueger, have his own complete house, like just a full Freddy house. I think would be epic. I think that'd be awesome.
I agree.
Yes.
Yeah.
That kind of goes hand in hand to what we were talking about when we said it's cool because right now I feel like HHN is in this envelope of let's push the boundary every year. What can we do to push the boundary as much as possible? However, I don't think they have realized how successful it'll be if they go back to the basics. It's still successful now, but I feel like what Jamie is saying, like, let's go back to the basics. Like, let's pull it back. Let's just do HHN slasher after slasher after slasher. Own house, very old school textbook Halloween Horror Nights. I would be with that.
Yeah, especially with it being the 40th anniversary for Nightmare on Elm Street.
That's the other thing. That's got the rumors swirling. Like it's not a rumor that's too huge just yet because we're still too early in the year. But I think this is the year of Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah. Welcome to prime time, bitch.
Yeah, I think this is the year of that, man. It's going to be interesting. There's a lot of different properties. Jalen and I were talking before we walked in, and we talked about I think what was it, Fear Street?
Yeah,
is that
Fear
what you
Street.
said?
Yeah, the trilogy. I think that I think that would be a great house because those movies were really good. I don't know if have you seen those, Gertie?
You know what?
They're really good.
Okay. I'm the oddball. I have actually not watched Fear Street. I tried to watch the first one.
I'm not too familiar with it.
And I fell asleep on it.
I think that they're really good. I think that especially like they can make a great house with the characters, those killers for sure. I think that would be excellent. Like. Just overall house because there's so many different killers in the series that they can use.
Okay, so since I haven't seen it, is it more so, I guess, anthology, like how VHS is?
More so, I guess it fits hand in hand with slashers, but it's multiple different killers, like different characters, but like each movie has to do with the next. Like the characters are the same in each movie, but like the horror aspects, like the scenes change of like the settings. So like, but they all go hand in hand. But I think they're all good. I think they would all do well in a house, just like the characters in it. I think are awesome.
And they all take place in a different year. The first one's supposed to be like 1997. The second one I think is set in the 80s, and the third one's supposed to be like 1666. So like a long time ago. So it takes place in different time periods.
So it's going backwards.
So it's more like American Horror Story, so to speak.
Yes.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
So hear me out. After hearing what you guys have told us about Fear Street, because I myself am a little unfamiliar with that. Maybe not Orlando, but Terror Tram, Hollywood.
It's dedicated to Fear Street?
Think about it. 3 different decades, different time periods. Terror Tram, you get dropped off in one time period, and if you're supposed to create that illusion of going back in time, then you walk those 3.
I like that.
Because they can get rid of Jupiter's claim.
Yeah.
No offense to Jupiter's claim, it's great, but it's been on the Terror Tram the last couple of years. So what do you do to revamp the Terror Tram all the way from the beginning? That's 3 different properties right there. I don't know. That's the cool part about speculation season. All ideas are on the table. And I might get rammed about that over the summer if I say that, but right now I think I'm in a
You're in a
safe
safe
space.
spot, yeah.
Yeah, I'm in a safe space.
We need a a toxic icon house.
Man, they're not ready for that.
Man, look, the way we act the fool at the darkness, no.
Yeah. I don't know, man. That, the hard part about SPEC season is how early it is in the season. We don't have too much to build off of, but we just kind of have our wish list. So what would be some of those that would be on your wish list?
Yeah, you take it first.
I would say probably for me, definitely. I would like to see Fear Street. That'd probably be one of them. Definitely Megan. I would love to have the Megan house. Probably Terrifier. I say those three.
Yeah.
Definitely should have his own house, especially with the new one coming out this year, 2024. I think definitely.
Okay.
Art the Clown. Yeah.
Oh, I would love to see Terrifier at HHN, but I feel like Terrifier just might be a little bit too intense.
It's definitely too intense.
For sure, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's too intense. Like I've seen people on different group pages and stuff speculating about Terrifier, and some people are like, "Yeah, bring it." Other people are like, "It's not gonna happen."
Yeah. So this actually has nothing to do with houses, but Jamie and I were discussing this yesterday on Instagram about the RIP tour.
Okay.
So what I said was that they should do an RIP brunch.
Okay.
Because think about it, the park's open all day.
Right.
If they did a brunch, no matter what day of the week it is, whether it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, as a perk to RIP tour holders.
That would be cool. I do feel like you get a lot for the money you pay with RIP tour, but however, now that they have different levels of RIP tour, they do need to add something else in there. So I think that would be cool.
Yeah, think about it. If you wanna come a little bit earlier outside of the stay and scream hours, you might just want to eat and just kick back with the people you're there with, and possibly meet some new people. What better way than chicken and waffles and mimosas?
Yeah, true. I kind of feel like RIP Tour also gives you an opportunity to network anyways with different content creators within the horror community. Because, let's be honest, like not everybody is dropping the 500 to do RIP. Not everybody. Only the people that, are trying to push their brands and things like that, or the diehard HHN fans are.
Or the people that just don't want to wait in any line.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the thing, too.
Yeah.
What was the longest line y'all waited in last year?
Stranger Things.
Jamie, what about you? Longest line you waited in last year?
Longest line I waited in was even with Express, because Express occasionally got backed up. I want to say The Last of Us in Orlando, always, any given night, no matter what time, besides going through Stay and Scream, it was always backed up. Like switchbacks to switchbacks, like insane. Probably even with Express, I would say we waited maybe even an hour, which is a lot.
What? An hour? What? My long.
Like some of the nights I went, they couldn't figure out like how many people they were pushing through Express, how many people they were pushing through like the general line. It was a mess. So.
And that's something that Orlando caught fire for this year during HHN was the crowds were insane. Like Jalen and I went to Hollywood this year. Yeah. So, we weren't in Orlando, but we heard Orlando had really hard times with the crowd control this year. Because the longest line we waited in, and we had Express, I think it might have been Evil Dead Rise because we went 2 nights in a row. And we were in line for that one. The next night was just general, and I think we waited an hour. But that was general with no credentials. So,
see,
I don't know.
Okay, I had to go on a particularly good night because, as I stated, my longest wait time was only 20 minutes. That was Stranger Things during Stay and Scream hours. Other than that, I was 10 minutes or less on everything.
Yeah.
Because as I told y'all, I finished by like 11 or 11:30. I got food. I rode a couple rides. I saw Nightmare Fuel.
Yeah.
Went to the tribute store 2 times and ate that nasty ass Chucky whoopie pie.
Yeah.
And then I bought some stuff too.
Have y'all heard what they're doing with the ticketing situation in Orlando? Have any of you guys?
No.
I've been seeing some.
Thing? Is that what I saw?
Yeah. Jamie? Do you know anything about that or?
I think it's for the locals that live there and do the frequent fear. I think the reservations are going to be for people that do frequent fear because I feel like they think that that's a part of the problem, that people that do the frequent fear, they're definitely going every night if they're local. So I think that adds to the crowd. But I'm not sure with the ticketing situation as far as like general, but that's what I heard, I think, for frequent fear.
Okay.
But I haven't heard too much.
I feel like frequent fear should have blackout dates, just to make it an even playing field.
Because last year, frequent fear was just a September thing, wasn't it?
No, it was the entire season.
It was the whole thing.
For Orlando, yeah.
See, Hollywood had none of that. Hollywood had it was very old school. You had General, Express, and RIP. There was no unmasking the horror. There was none of that. At least from what I can recall, it was very straightforward. You had one of those three, and that was it. So Orlando's throwing a whole lot more perks because of the resort and things like that anyways.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I do get what you're saying about maybe this year they should do blackout dates, make it an even playing field.
Yeah, because think about it. If you have, let's just say, 1,000 people that have frequent fear that are local, and then the hundreds of thousands of people that come from all these other countries and states, is going to become a headache.
It is. And it's going to be extremely packed. And I think Orlando's also the price-friendlier destination out of the two to attend.
I think they're both the same price-wise.
I don't know, man.
Okay, so look, we both went we went on the same days, right?
Right.
So of course it goes up the closer it gets. When I purchased my general admission ticket to HHN, it was $99 flat.
Okay.
And the express pass was $101.
Okay.
Stay and Scream, I think this is one flat rate of $42.
Oh, okay, that's not bad. Jamie, did you do Stay and Scream last year?
Did the Stay and Scream. I went for 3 nights total this year. I did it 2 nights, I think. And then the third night, we have done everything we wanted to do. So we just kind of went in when we wanted to go in and just, hit whatever we wanted to hit for the last time. But I want to say that's another thing I want to touch on. I think that the Stay and Scream price, or I think it's like the Scream early too. If you're not already in the park at a certain time, you can do the Scream early if you're coming in, and you weren't in the park. That's gone up as well as like Stay and Scream. If you're in the park, you don't pay anything, but like the Scream early to get into the park for Stay and Scream has gone up every year I've gone, unfortunately. So that's another thing.
Wow. So for those of y'all who are watching and plan on doing that, be prepared for that increase. There's going to be an increase on something every year, so it don't matter.
Yeah, Stay and Scream is definitely worth it because I got 4 houses done by 6 o'clock.
Oh, yeah. Depending on that holding area that you're in, like I think that I did my first night, I got there and I did the Scream early because I wasn't there in time for Stay and Scream. I wanted to do Stranger Things. I ended up doing Last of Us. And that was so worth it because I did that. And then I think I did the Unmasked, the Universal Monsters. And then I think Oddfellow, all of that followed 5 minutes. Just hit them all as much as you can. So definitely worth it.
Yep, see, that's what happened to me. I was in the New York Stay and Scream area. So I did Stranger Things, Exorcist, the Dueling Dragons, and Yeti.
And did y'all hear anything about there's another rumor circulating right now about potential shows in Orlando this year. And what I'm hearing is Creature from the Black Lagoon.
As a show?
Yeah.
Because he's one of the only ones they haven't done.
Yeah.
He is one of the only ones they haven't done. We have not seen Creature from the Black Lagoon.
And they would take a dead man's approach. Like the water's going to be going, the mist. They have to. It would be so cool.
I feel like for a show that would be dope. Honestly, for a house, probably better. Think back to Dead Man's Pier a couple years ago. The detail, the mist, everything, it really gave you that illusion. They could really, if they did that with Dead Man's Pier, I trust them with that idea of Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Okay.
I trust it.
Now that you've painted this picture, I can see a show.
Could definitely see a show.
Because as a house, I want to see Universal icons, Jack and Oddfellow.
I feel like we're getting that this year.
You think they would do it that soon?
I believe they would, only because Oddfellow was a pretty big character last year, especially because he was the focal point of the event in Orlando.
Yeah.
Oddfellow was a definite success.
It was.
So, I mean, who knows, man? I do think they'll probably end up.
Yeah, I believe, now that you said it, I believe that they'll replace Universal Monsters with Universal Icons, Jack and Oddfellow, and go ahead and make the Black Lagoon the actual show.
The actual show.
Yeah.
Well, that would be cool. I could deal with that.
Do you guys think that with Epic coming with the Universal Monsters Land, that this might be the final year to do anything Universal Monster heavy in Orlando for Horror Nights, or do you think that they'll still continue to?
I think this is it. I think it's they had I'm sure they did more Universal Monsters in the past, but let's just talk about the last 3 years, right? Look at this as like a 3-year run. Epic Universe opens, and I think the Universal Monsters are supposed to have a land at this park, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
So, yeah, I think that also opens up room for more properties for them to do different things, travel different avenues for Horror Nights. The other question surrounding Epic is, do y'all think that this event is going to expand into Epic Universe?
No.
No?
No.
Why you say no?
I say no because, okay, so the economy is already in shambles right now, right?
Okay.
Let's think about all the families that are, traditional husband, wife, 2 to 3 kids, right? Those families already drive because flying would be too expensive for 5 people. On top of that, they have to get a hotel or Airbnb, and they have to get 5 admission, 5 express, 5 stay and scream. So that's going to become a strain on the clientele.
True.
Which means that less people will come out if there's not just 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah. I think if HHN expanded to Epic Universe, and just to be clear so everybody knows, I don't mean HHN leaves Universal and goes to Epic. I mean at both parks, right? If they were to do that, I think that would potentially take Hollywood out of the equation.
No,
I do.
No.
Because think about it.
No.
Think about it this way. Hollywood has less days every season, like a significant amount of less days. It was only from October 1st to Halloween.
Which I don't know why they do less. I don't know why they do that.
I don't know why they do less either, honestly.
Yeah, because they started. Wait a minute, it started in October? I thought it was a week after Orlando.
Or maybe it started in September.
I think they did start in September.
Maybe a week after, yeah. So mid-September. But Halloween it ended. Orlando went a few days.
Right, it was the first weekend of November.
I'm not sure why they do that. And Hollywood also.
They'll do that again, though, for Orlando. I heard the crowds were like nothing. So I think they lost money doing that into November.
Right, they're right. They were just paying to keep the lights on.
Yeah, true. Just trying to get that last minute overflow. And to go back to, potential wish lists, what do y'all think about? And my girl Britt, she brought this up. Coraline. Coraline is a property. What do y'all think about that?
It's a Tim Burton thing at that.
We know what production company Coraline was?
I don't.
Nah, I don't.
That all comes down to who Universal collabs with. I don't know because if it's like a Lionsgate or like one of those kinds of things, that I feel like they have a good relationship with them, but I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see Coraline.
Yeah, I don't.
What I do see returning is Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Now, maybe not this year, but within the next couple of years, I do think that will come back.
Yeah, it's too soon.
But if they want to go with a clown, I thought Oddfellow was successful, so There's not too many clowns they can roll with at this point.
You do Pennywise.
They could do Pennywise. They have it.
Pennywise, that's overdue too, big time.
That
was
is,
thinking,
yeah,
yeah,
but that'd be crazy.
Yeah. Another one on my wish list, I was thinking, especially because the first one's coming out this year in May, and the trilogy, I think The Strangers, that would be an amazing house.
Yeah.
That would be so good. I think that'd be a perfect house because both of those movies, Pray at Night and the first one, were so good. And like they're having the trilogy, so they can easily, go off that if they wanted to.
You know what? We walk through a stranger's house, Jamie. I'm hiding behind you.
I don't know, man. It's interesting about, what time it is right now within this point of speculation season, because we don't have that much, but we also have a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have too much to work with, so right now is that time where you can just toss ideas, toss any kind of ideas you got. Where do you guys sit with the music artist houses?
I think it varies. It depends on who it is. Because I don't think they can just do any artist. I think it has to be like one that's probably obviously well known and that people are going to relate to.
That's what I feel.
Yeah.
I think it can't just be anybody. I think Weeknd was the experiment.
A very
And it
well
worked.
thought out experiment.
A very well thought out experiment. It worked. But now, I mean, you hear just all kinds of names, and it's like you can't just give this to anybody. And I'd be cool with another artist, but I hope they are very particular about who it is.
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson house?
Thriller.
Yeah, that'd be dope. That'd be dope. I mean, you already know I pushed for it last season, but the Lady Gaga idea would have been dope.
It would.
It would have been great. I don't even think people really thought about that and like internalized what that would have been. But she had more like raunchy and horrifying images and things like that in some of her older works than The Weeknd did.
Yeah.
And if his worked, hers definitely would have worked. So I'm not sure.
Well, let's go back to when they were going to have Billie Eilish. Would you have rather had Billie Eilish as the music house or Lady Gaga?
Gaga.
Billy.
Gaga.
Billy.
I think
Gaga.
I mean, a Billie Eilish house would be pretty good too. I mean, I think
They're both dark, but
Yeah.
Gaga's definitely more poppy. But Billie's so dark that I almost feel like that's why the rumor, or almost, I think it was almost confirmed at one point why they chose Billie, because she's really dark. But her music would be great too.
both of their music videos obviously are unique and weird too. That there aren't normal music videos that you would see.
They would definitely make for great properties.
Yeah.
Either one would have been dope. I think the reason I say Gaga is just because I feel like, and this is from a music standpoint, not her videos, none of that, but like I feel like her music would give you a little bit, it would give the design team a little bit more to work with in terms of scenic work and the layout of the hunt. I really do.
I could see that.
A lot of her high pulse beats and things like that, transfer that to strobe lights, different kinds of dark lighting, more bright lighting, anything like that.
Okay.
That's kind of what I think. Now, it would have been cool if it was Billy, but either way, it would have been hard.
Slipknot, man. I'm still pushing for Slipknot.
It would have been great, but I think they're too caught up in the fame at this point. They won't do it. I don't think they're going to do it. They took a haunted house on the road with them when they went on tour, just themselves. And it was successful, and I don't think they'll give Universal time of day. I don't. I think Corey Taylor says no, and that's it. It'd be great. I buy all the merch, but I don't think it's going to happen.
That's a fair assessment.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. Slipknot would have been great. Rammstein would be great. A lot of people said Hollywood Undead. I say no. Motionless in White would be perfect for a haunted house at Halloween Horror Nights.
Static X.
Static X would be great. So it really just depends. And it also depends on how you feel about different kinds of music and things like that. What's going to work, what won't work, you know.
Like no matter what musical person they would pick, if we did another musical house, there's always going to be people that aren't in favor of it. Just like with The Weeknd, like so many people were against it all over social media, and then I'd say like half of those people were like, "That was the best house. That was so much fun." So I feel like every year there's always going to be people that don't want it.
Jamie, how did you feel about Weeknd when it got announced? Like your initial thoughts to that?
So I was planning on going to The Weeknd's tour already before that was announced. So I was already kind of up to date on like the music that was going to be there, if it was there. And then I went to the tour and they had like, I don't know if you saw like how his tour was this year, but like people draped in stuff, his outfits, like the music that was going to be there. So I was so hype. And then he spilled the beans on Twitter. I don't know if you guys heard about that, when he like slipped up on Twitter and was like, you know, these would be great. Like my music videos would be great in Halloween Horror Nights. And like everyone was like confirmed, like he's going to be there. And then once I found out, I was like, we knew it. It's going to be awesome. And then of course it was like better than I could have pictured. So it was great.
I truly stand behind. We did not deserve that house, bro.
Yeah.
We didn't. It was.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be terrible.
Yeah. Nick and I, we were texting each other like, what the fuck?
We text each other, and I was like, oh nah, man, this ain't it. And then it was the second house we went through, and I was like, that shit is gonna be hard to beat.
Yeah,
that's gonna be hard to beat. It was that good. I still go look at it now.
Yeah. Did you guys watch the music videos before too, or no? Did you go in blind?
I knew a little bit, but nothing like that. House made me really go back into his discography so I could figure out why he even was granted the opportunity to have a house there. And when you go listen to that After Hours album, it makes sense. Like it makes sense to the T. Like it made complete sense. So it really just depends on, you know, who you rolling with, you know, music, your music preference, all those kinds of things. That's what it comes down to.
So look, I got one for y'all. Outside of speculation talk, if you could pick one house, what would your dream house be at Horror Nights? No matter what coast it's on.
This is hard.
I'm talking.
I can't go first.
Like whether it's an original.
Like I need at least a top three. Like I can't pick one.
You give us three. Can we name three? All right. Whoever wants to go first, because I don't have mine yet.
Ladies first. Ladies first.
Okay. I would say number one. Well, no particular order. Number one would be, if you guys ever saw House of Wax. Kind of going off of like, I loved puppet theater when puppet theater was at HHN, the original. So I would love like a House of Wax, but also just like mannequins, like crazy puppets, like wax figures, like that kind of thing. So House of Wax. I want to say it's never going to happen, but Terrifier, just because we need more gore back in HHN. So I would love a Terrifier house. And then a third, oh God, I don't even know. Come back to me on my third. I got to think.
I like those too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I agree. Sometimes I feel like Horror Nights has so many people they want to please now, and sometimes I do feel like it gets a little family friendly at times. Like we want the shit scared out of us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
we want y'all to bring back that intense feeling. You want to feel that uncertainty walking up. You know
Right,
what I'm saying?
right. They do want to make sure that they do appeal to each demographic. So I understand that.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. I get it. It's all about the business aspect, but Gertie, what's yours?
Okay, so my number one, The People Under the Stairs.
Okay.
I love that movie. So that would be number one. Secondly is, of course, a Scream house that we almost got, which turned into The Purge.
Lord. Yeah.
And then a third house, an alien house. Like straight up xenomorphs.
Okay.
On the sci-fi.
Okay.
With like, that brings in the sci-fi factor of things.
Dope.
But go back to Alien 1.
Okay. I think my top 3. One of these would be for a Terror Tram. That to me would be Children of the Corn.
Oh.
I would love to see a Children of the Corn Terror Tram. I think that property is a little too vast just to be a house, but Children of the Corn would be great. Number 2, I would love to see Jeepers Creepers as a house.
That'd be good.
That would be good. These are movies that have just not been tapped into yet enough by HHN. Would be great. And number 3, and I can't believe I'm saying this because I really don't like spiders at all. Like, just straight up, I don't. Arachnophobia.
I'm not going in there. Nope. I'm not walking in that house.
I don't know, but look, an arachnophobia house will put the horror back in Halloween Horror Nights. That's all I'm going to say about it.
Bro, I hate spiders.
And it would bring the sci-fi feel of it because that's not slasher and that's not psychological, but that's more like on the aliens. Your entire home is overrun by man-eating spiders.
Yeah, I'm not going in.
So how did you make it through bugs? When you went through bugs?
Oh, man, I did not like that house.
I hated that house.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be way worse than it was. Like, I actually was, I don't know. I thought it was way more silly to be like, I'm scared of the critters in here.
Yeah, no. It definitely it had an intensity to it, and the way that they marketed it, they made bugs eaten alive sound like it was gonna be the worst thing that's happened at HHN. Like, this is going to be beast mode, and it was cool. Like, it wasn't, but
it was cool, but I walked out itching.
Yeah, no, it definitely left me feeling uneasy. Yeah, for sure.
All right, so for me, based on the ones, they've already done, but so these are 3 I would pick. So I would say my first one, probably, if you've seen Lights Out, that movie, that would be a great one. Blair Witch Project, I would love a Blair Witch house. That would be really cool. And then 3, I don't know what my third one is. I have to think.
So we got to come back to Jalen and Jamie on their third. Another house that has happened at Horror Nights within the last 6 or 7 years that I would love to see return would be Poltergeist. The Poltergeist house, if you guys haven't watched it, go watch it. You really don't even need to know the movie in that aspect, but the detail that they did on that house, the way that they really recreated that property, awesome. It'd be cool to see them bring it back.
I don't know.
About Poltergeist?
Yeah, I didn't like the...
I'm not the biggest fan of the movie.
Yeah, that's why I don't know.
But I don't know. I thought the house was hard. Jamie, you figure out your third?
My third was said, but I've been wishing and hoping for it for years because of the Netflix partnership, but definitely Fear Street. I know it's kind of forgotten by now, but I would love it. I loved the movie series. So I think Fear Street definitely for another Netflix, because Stranger Things now, I know there's only 1 season left, so they're going to be looking for more Netflix things to do. So my third is Fear Street.
Actually, you know what? They might actually do that, because I want to say I saw this on I Like Scary earlier. It was either him or Critical Overlord or 3C Films. There is actually a fourth Fear Street in the works at Netflix.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
So it's a potential.
Yeah, I loved it. It was so good.
What happens?
Yeah.
It's a potential.
Yeah, they were really good. Well done.
I would also like to see Holidays in Hell be put on at Universal Orlando. I feel like that was a sleeper last year in Hollywood.
Cabbage and corned beef.
Yeah. But Holidays in Hell needs to see another day. Dead Man's Pier needs to see another day. It just needs to be...
later on down the line, though.
Yeah. Not this year. Definitely later on down.
2028.
I think for my third one, maybe I would say Smile. I think that'd be a good house.
Smile would be dope.
I think that'd be a dope house.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, Jalen, I just thought about something. What about Smile as a scare zone?
Oh man,
I think that'd be good too. I think either one. Yeah, I'm just seeing those.
Either or would be
either
dope.
Or, yeah,
but imagine, let's say the New York area at Orlando. And just all those people.
That was Vamp 69,
Yeah, that where Vamp 69 was, like, Smile.
Yeah.
I think that'd be hard.
Yeah, that'd be a good house.
Or Talk to Me.
Talk to Me would be dope, too. There are a lot of different properties. Hopefully we'll get that Scream house, though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
They need to capitalize on all the attention that Scream 7 is getting, even though it's negative.
It'd be big for him. It would definitely be big for him. I don't know. It's so early in spec season that we're not sure, and we're going to continue speculating throughout the year as we get closer, because what you'll see is that certain ideas that we talked about tonight probably won't come up again if they don't keep going.
Watch that their Twitter page is going to be real quiet, and then one day randomly in, I'll just say June,
oh yeah,
you're going to start seeing encrypted videos.
Yeah. Different hints and everything like that. Just like they hyped me up about Lady Gaga and then didn't do it.
They hyped us up about FNAF last year, actually. They kind of teased us.
Did they, or did just the fans?
No, they foreshadowed.
Yeah, I think they did kind of tease us a little bit. Like, they were speculating on making that. But
I mean, that one's almost like a set in stone. So
triple feature
for sure.
$100.
What happens? $100.
$100 says triple feature.
I'm not putting in on that. Price is easy.
I got one. How about your house? If you choose a house that's like not horror related, just like that would be like a unique house that they would have.
Like a non-horror house?
Yeah, like just like kind of like a unique house, or if you had to choose, what would be your dream house for that? That's like not necessarily like non-horror related.
Psycho, 1955, I think. Psycho would be cool. Old school psychological.
Alfred Hitchcock Birds.
Okay.
For me, I'm gonna say, I think it would be unique. The Goonies. I think that'd be a cool house.
That would be cool.
That's a great movie. I think that would, like, because they can do so much with that, like the pirate ship and just like all that. It's like water. You can do so much with that house. I would love to see a Goonies house.
Okay.
Jamie?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. What'd you say?
So like your favorite, like, it, like not necessarily like non-horror, just like a house. If you had like to pick one, like your dream house.
House, not necessarily horror. I would do something with like the whole alien concept, like you already said. Maybe just like almost like The Hills Have Eyes kind of deal, like mutant things and like something like that. Like I know that's basically horror, but just like a whole bunch of different like crazy like mutant things in like a house. I feel like that would be cool. Like kind of tap into that, like I don't know, like crazy creature type of thing.
Yeah, it'd be dope.
Okay. Man, that's great. Time flew by today.
It did. Yeah. Time flies when you're having fun. You know?
Okay. Man, this was good. Jamie, we got to run it back with you again.
I know.
We definitely do.
Yeah.
We appreciate y'all for tapping into our very first speculation episode of the year. There will be more to come. Please subscribe at Toxic Icon Pod on all platforms. There's so many cool things in the works. Follow Jamie Does Halloween on all platforms.
And once again, this is your boy Yerdy G,
Nick White,
Jalen Talley.
and this is another episode of the Toxic Icon Podcast. And as always, stay toxic.